Chancellor, I present to you Margaret Heffernan, who is eminently worthy to receive the degree of Doctor of Business Administration, honoris causa.
Chancellor, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Professor Elliott, thank you so much for this immense honour. The work I've been able to do with the School of Management at the University of Bath has been a source of unalloyed inspiration and delight. The School of Management is a treasure trove of academic rigour, intellectual excitement, and true commitment to its students. And I count it a privilege to have colleagues to work alongside there. But it's hard to imagine a more challenging moment in which to be honoured for working in business. Over the last 4 years in which the banking crisis has unfolded and continues to unfold, we have seen unparalleled examples of fraud, deception, institutional abuse, and systemic immorality. It's been tempting to think of the banking crisis as just a technical problem. If we fix the math, we'll get it right next time. Or to think of it as an economics problem, build a better model, and maybe we'll be safer next time. But at heart, this has been a moral crisis, pointing up the degree to which the tactical goals of business, revenue growth, have become the overriding principle and measurement of everything we do in society. This monetization of morality, according to which any crime is forgivable and forgettable if it generates enough revenue, has brought business into disrepute, and it has shattered the trust between companies and the society in which they operate. The greatest damage done by this crisis has been to leave people and business feeling profoundly disconnected. And yet, perhaps perversely, I'm an optimist. A crisis of this kind forces us to face up to hard problems. And one of the things that I've learned, both from running companies and writing books, is that it's often when work is hardest that you are learning the most. We are learning that the human mind has the capacity to build business and systems more complex than our ability to manage or to fix them, and that perhaps the greatest intelligence lies in knowing when to stop. We're learning that businesses and financial institutions don't work like machines, that instead they're far more like living organisms, highly reactive, interactive, and utterly non-linear in the way that they evolve and respond to change. We are learning that the proper role of business isn't to replace society, but to serve it. When the chief executive of GlaxoSmithKline talks about putting people before profits, you know some kind of fundamental sea change has occurred. And when institutional investors condemn him for that, you know that that change still has some way to go. From my experience of running companies, I've seen how work can stretch, enhance, and develop the people in them. Perhaps of all my businesses, what I'm proudest of is the number of employees who've worked for me and then gone on to build their own companies, organizations that are respectful of individuals, engaged with society, and resolutely built on trust. From so many of the companies that I've studied and written about, I've seen the tremendous power that business has to solve social problems, to make society more coherent, not less, and the vast opportunities that open up when we determine to address problems and not to outsource them. And I've been tremendously inspired by the rising generation of entrepreneurs determined to do business differently. Because I both write books about business and run businesses, but also write plays about everything, I'm often asked, so what are you, Margaret? A businesswoman or an artist? To which the honest answer is yes. I've always believed in the power of art and the power of business to change the world. I've always believed that as members of the world's elite, in our access to food, to health, and to education, that we have a responsibility not just to consume, but to contribute, and that our contribution can take many forms, be they companies, or books, or plays, or software, or teaching. At their heart, all of these are creative processes that express who we are and connect us to others. They are what make us human.